Hello and welcome to Good Clean Gaming. I'm your host Jalindo.
And I'm the wife.
And we're continuing our gameplay series of
80 Days.
And we're having a lot of fun with this, so it's going to be a official series now. Hope you guys are enjoying it as well. So we're going to click back into the game. We're going to jump into the market. Ooh, an accordion, valuable in Athens, Helsinki, and Minsk. And this is a Russian wardrobe. We're going to grab both those because we're heading into Russia.
Fur coat.
Heading into Russia, and we're heading towards Minsk. Or we're going to be in Minsk soon. And we also want to go and we want to sell. Let's see, what was it that we could sell here? Budapest. We're not in Budapest. We're in Warsaw. Berlin. Could have sworn there were some things I could sell here. 130. Wow, that's actually a lot more valuable than when I bought it. Well, let's sell this wind scarf. It's worth a lot more here. And we're going to keep the others. Good?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. So let's jump out of here. And let's take a look at our plan for tomorrow. So we're going to head towards Minsk, right? And then towards Moscow?
So each destination, we can just pick random. Like there's no one place we have to go to.
We can we can pick it random, but we got to get around. We want to try to get around the world, and it shows us the paths we have discovered that we can take.
Right.
Okay. So, we're going to Minsk, right? Or we're going to go down to Budapest in Istanbul?
Well, it just seems faster if we head straight to Moscow.
Let's try that then. I have no idea. Never been there. So, hotel for the night?
Yes.
Okay, hotel for the night.
We'll pass the night here.
We walk the streets of Warsaw, feeling the air of a different continent all around. In less than 2 generations, the Tsars had made this little outpost all their own.
They have made it much nicer, too.
These are there are building works on every road, with great digging machines sitting idle during the day and coming to life in the evening. As they carve out sewage and water systems, they will allow the city grow to enormous size.
A touch of empire can do wonders.
I feel like I'm missing a word here. That will allow the city to grow. A touch of empires can do wonders, I remarked to Monsieur Fogg. But his eyebrow scolded me. No good will come of this, he replied. Only malignant growths and rust expand at such a rate. He shook his head sadly. When will people realize that only the English are fit to run an empire?
Ooh, I rolled my eyes at that.
I rolled my eyes at that, but in all honesty, I do not think he understood my response. Relations with Fogg have deteriorated slightly. Okay.
You can manage
explore.
another case, can't you?
He wants us to have another suitcase. Yeah, we'll go with 4, monsieur. We have a route to Stockholm, to Helsinki, to St. Petersburg. Going out in the day, I encountered an incredible creature as tall as a house with wide swinging metal arms, like a rampaging giant. I stared, I hid, I fled.
I hid.
Watching as the terrible machine stomped from foot to foot, slowly rotating, and then I saw that in its chest was a man using levers and switches to operate the colossal device. It was a gigantic walking exoskeleton.
I waved
to him, and he looked down and tipped his cloth cap.
What is this thing?
What is this thing, I demanded? Good job. What is this thing, I demanded? It's a kodunki, he said, from Novorossiysk. Say that 5 times fast.
Novorossiysk.
They shipped a few in to help us with the building work.
From Novorossiysk, you say?
From Novorossiysk, you say? It's a small town on the far side of the Black Sea, he replied. I don't know why they have a surplus of these things there. He pulled the lever and the machine drew back a massive arm.
How does it work?
There are 2 levers for each hand, and they work on ball sockets. I'd let you try, sir, but I must get on with my work. The drawn-back arm smashed into a wall, and the building fell into a cloud of dust. I jumped back. Excuse me, my friend called, but I must get back to work. What an incredible sight. So, depart. We still going to Moscow?
Yes.
Arrives tomorrow. Going along train. 2 suitcases.
16 hearts.
It's okay. We can handle
Do
heart
they
reduction.
come back Like
yeah, we can get them back.
When like you sleep at a hotel or something like that, you rest?
Yep,
okay.
That's right. So you ready to go?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Open luggage. Oh, we got to either hire extra space for 11. Let's hire extra space for 11. Sound good?
Okay.
So we're going to buy a little extra space. Cold weather. This will be a burdensome room, but the fur coat from our Russian gentleman's wardrobe set should make the master more comfortable. So it negates that -16. Booyaka! Go.
So the fur coat helped?
The fur coat made it where he's not going to lose any health.
He's going to stay warm.
Mm-hmm. We clambered aboard the train. Monsieur Fogg settled in a far corner like a dusty old uncle, and I
pressed my nose against the glass.
I pressed my nose against the glass, watching the bleak countryside roll past. Trains are such marvelous contraptions. I could have been an engine driver myself, I think.
If I weren't so dreadfully clumsy.
If I weren't so dreadfully clumsy. Strangely, perhaps, I had found my fingers and thumbsness quite of benefit working in the circus, my previous occupation.
I think it lent me a certain comic timing.
And added tension to my high wire acrobatics. Here we go. Converse. Greetings, Monsieur Krasotkin. Good evening, man of France. Are we going to, from Moscow, we're going to Ekaterinburg? We already know that one. Omsk. Ursurik. Vladivostok.
Pick one.
Vladivostok. I've discovered you can reach Vladivostok from Moscow. You mentioned trains. I've been told my childhood sweetheart was stranded in Karamskaya just before the Trans-Manchurian Express to Pyongyang went missing. So from Pyongyang, we can talk about Pyongyang, or we can find a route from Vladivostok to Beijing, or to Hong Kong, or to Honolulu.
Ooh.
What do you want?
Can we only pick one?
Yep.
This is so hard. Hong Kong.
Hong Kong. Is there a route from Vladivostok to Hong Kong? Maybe, but the fastest way to Hong Kong is from here is via Urga, Beijing, or Honolulu, or San Francisco.
Honolulu.
Honolulu. Look, some buyers will pay well for accordions in Honolulu. So he didn't really tell us, but he told us that they like accordions in Honolulu.
We have an accordion.
We do have an accordion, that's correct. So there's extra routes we just got there. Heading through Minsk. We arrived at Minsk after nightfall and watched as people hurried from the train, or we can say, and quickly disembarked. Now, we do have something we can sell at Minsk, I think. We can check the markets.
Mm-hmm.
You want to do that?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to disembark. Rather than spending the night on this train. So we're going to disembark. Looks like we're going to plan tomorrow's trip. Tomorrow's trip will arrive next Tuesday. We're going to have to catch this train, I think, and head there tomorrow. Can't really see anything today. So, hotel, sleep. Passing the night. 6:30. A very cold newspaperman offered me a sip of Turkish coffee at a tram stop in Minsk. My grandfather was French, he said blandly.
Was he also a journalist?
Was he also a journalist? I inquired in interest. He spat onto the ground vehemently. I did not know him. He was one of Napoleon's soldiers. Minsk was occupied by the Grand Army during the invasion. He did not speak in a particularly accusative tone, but any words I tried to say in reply coagulated at the back of my throat. I managed to choke out.
I'm sorry.
I am sorry. Sorry, he turned to me and smiled with half his mouth. What are you sorry for? You did nothing. He gestured with his cup. You are traveling?
We head from here to Moscow, I think.
We head from here to Moscow, I think. He nodded. Look out for the police. They are giving themselves more powers every day. Our tram wheezed into the stop and the conductor opened the doors. The newspaperman boarded. Enjoy your coffee, he added, without looking in my direction.
I boarded with him.
I boarded with him and cracked a rare smile. If I were traveling, I know where I would choose to go.
And where is that?
And where is that? Tehran, he replied, to my surprise.
A beautiful place, I'm sure.
A beautiful place, I'm sure. He laughed bitterly and tapped the newspaper under his arm. When I was younger, I knew a woman called Lena Palkala, a Finnish girl. She became a dancer. Now she passes herself off as Slavic, and has just been signed up to dance exclusively in Tehran. I am sure I will never see her again, but if I could, I would try.
I nodded.
I nodded sympathetically. The world is large, monsieur. She would be hard to find. You forget I work in the newspapers, he replied. She is traveling quietly by airship from Novorossiysk in a few days. That's not at all, and that's not all. Her name is now Marina Poltavka. New routes discovered. Oh, so there's Novorossiysk. So let's explore, and then we'll depart.
So up here on the top right-hand corner, is the camera there?
That's a camera for taking screenshots.
Okay.
And then overview of the map, and then settings.
Okay.
Okay? Mm-hmm. I take a few hours to explore, investigating the various options of how we might continue our journey. So let's mark it. Shaving kit, railway cap. Railway cap's interesting. Heavy storm or shortbread biscuit. Let's get the railway cap because we're going to be on trains a lot. Mm-hmm. So we want to have train-related stuff.
Now, why is the accordion in yellow?
Valuable here in Istanbul. Oh, so we can sell it here. Yeah, let's sell it here.
So when it's in yellow, it's like telling you it's more valuable here. You should sell it here.
Exactly. Good. I didn't realize that. Okay, so let's get out of here. Thank you for pointing that out. Let's go depart.
Well,
let's pause. What?
On the bottom right-hand corner, he like says things every once in a while, and I just remember him saying about the accordion.
And selling it here?
Yeah, and then I noticed that it was in yellow. So
always point that out to me, because sometimes I'll miss that. Thank you for that.
It's okay.
Okay, so we're going to Moscow, right?
Yes, Moscow.
Okay, embark. Here we go. Oh, we gotta get rid of. We could hire space for 11. Let's hire space. I always like to hire extra space on these trains.
Well, we have plenty of money.
Cold weather. This seems a bothersome option, but the fur coat from the Russian gentleman's wardrobe set should make things go easier. All right.
Would go for a coat.
The train pulled out from Minsk station well after nightfall. Monsieur Fogg had taken to tapping his watch every time we began a new journey, as though he was recording the time of departure through some fantastical spring-operated signal.
Most likely a nervous habit.
Most likely a nervous habit. A man of Monsieur Fogg's composure and steady complexion must surely hide some vagaries in his mental closet. Relations with Fogg have strengthened slightly. Here we go. We're off on the
closet.
We're on the Belarus Express. There was little time to do anything before total darkness enveloped the train, heading into Russia. Greetings, mademoiselle. Good evening. Okay, we can talk about Moscow to any of those places. I think we can get all those. How about just talk about Moscow? Mm-hmm. The Tsar has formed his secret police, I hear. We can talk about, how about Omsk? Yes?
Okay, yeah.
I hear you can reach Omsk from Moscow. On the subject of trains, I've heard St. Petersburg can be reached from Minsk aboard the St. Petersburg Express, but the journey is a tiring one. Omsk to Ekaterinburg. Any of these interest you?
Nope. Any, mini, miny, mo at this point.
Okay, get that one. Is it possible to travel to Omsk to Ekaterinburg? I don't know, but some buyers will pay well for geometric equipment from Ekaterinburg. Here, this one's yellow. I'm guessing we need to go with the yellow ones. Yes?
Seems like it.
Astrakhan. From Omsk to Astrakhan. Have you heard that the quickest way to Astrakhan from here is through Tsaritsyn? And we're arriving in Moscow. Morning came and we were still crossing the Russian countryside, the train moving on its slow and steady way. I spent the time
talking to other passengers,
hoping to find options for our next leg. I met a charming Muscovite artist.
And had a pleasant, if unproductive conversation.
That whiled the hours away. Finally, we pulled into the stone edifice that was Moscow Station and disembarked. Your character is now manicured. The Chateau de Yukim wine can be sold handsomely here, so let's do that first things first.
Yep, and see, then it makes it yellow.
Sold in Berlin. Is this Berlin? We're in Moscow. Oh, this is Berlin, Moscow, or I don't know. We're somewhere where we can sell that, so that's important.
In Kremlin Plaza?
I'll take it. Forged Englishman's passport in the name of Jack Passenger. Rest and recuperation healing salve. Let's grab that healing salve. That sounds useful.
Now, why would we need a cold compress?
Ooh, gentleman's traveling set. Oh, we sold the other part of the gentleman's traveling set, so we don't have that
Well, we
anymore.
have the hat over there.
This is also rest and recuperation. I think we buy both of these. Yeah?
Okay.
This is part of the gentleman's set, but we have this one's part of the railway set, so we can get both. That one's 56, and this one's 32. You want to get these and then sell them if we don't need them?
Yeah, go ahead.
It seems to me the best thing to do is just buy everything almost.
Might as well.
We completed a physical restorative set. Should protect against strenuous conditions. So let's plan tomorrow's trip. Whoa, we can go all the way over to Vladivostok. I think this is the Trans-Siberian Railway. Or we can go to either of these. I was trying to pick
destinations going like just one long straight line.
This is a one long straight line, that's for sure.
I figured it'd be, faster.
Okay, so let's get a hotel. Pass the night.
Day 10.
Moscow was not a comfortable city for a Frenchman. A local composer had just written a piece people were calling the 1812 Overture, commemorating the Russian victory over Napoleon's invading Grande Armée in that fateful year. Patriotic passions were at a fever pitch.
But I did not let that stop me.
From exploring the city, though I resolved to...
affect an English accent.
So we got a Frenchman infecting an English accent in Russia.
I thought it'd be fun.
Interesting. In the style of Monsieur Fogg, should I encounter anyone. I'm not ashamed to admit that I had been practicing that very skill for some time, though it must be said, not in the vicinity of my master.
I traversed the city on foot.
I traversed the city on foot, keeping out of sight of the patrols of uniformed policemen. You get why he's doing this, because they don't like Frenchmen because of Napoleon. And Cossack troops mounted on black mechanical steeds. I ventured away from the wide boulevards and the eclectic architecture of Tverskaya Street towards the Kremlin or outdoors.
Let's go to the outdoor markets.
Towards the outdoor markets of Staraya Square. They were full of apple-cheeked young boys and wrapped-up peasant women. I found myself drawn to one particular stall.
Selling
gazelle ceramics painted at distinctive blue and white.
I declined.
I declined to acquire any for myself and contentedly continued to amble the market. As the bells of the nearby church chimed the hour, I returned to our hotel, content with my brief view of the Tsar's capital city. Okay, explore? Exploring.
We're explorers. We must explore.
New routes. St. Petersburg passes through Moscow, goes down through Tsaritsyn to Astrakhan. I spent a few hours in exploration, learning ways in which we might travel onwards. Okay, a hotel, because I don't think... Oh, we can depart. So we can go to St. Petersburg today. Or, actually, yeah, we'd go to St. Petersburg today. That's north. That's kind of out of our way a little bit. But, or we can depart in 3 days to Ekaterinburg, or Omsk, or Irtsk, or Krimskaya, or any of these. I'm guessing we want to travel the whole length, because if we get off, I think it takes 3 days to get back on, so we don't want to waste too much time.
Okay.
So you want to just wait for 3 days to get on the next train?
Okay, can we still explore here around in Moscow?
I think we can't explore anymore. I think we just have to, wait.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to wait past the night. As night fell...
I went out to explore a little
and succeeded only in having my pocket picked to the tune of 17 pounds.
Aww.
I'm glad I was only carrying 17 pounds with me. I still can't leave. It'll be another 2 days, I think. Before retiring...
I went to stretch my legs
and found a nervous Russian gentleman who had lost a monocle, which I helped to recover, and who then told me that the quickest way to Karamskaya is through Omsk.
I thanked him,
and he smiled and went about his affairs.
Well, at least I didn't get robbed again.
Yeah, that's a good thing. Okay, still waiting till tomorrow, and then we can finally depart. We took a room and settled in, and...
I went out to explore a little.
Of course you would. I went out to explore a little and took full advantage of some distance from my duties. When I returned, both my spirits and, I fancy, his were much improved. Depart. So here we go.
All the way.
All the way over to Vladivostok.
What's south in Korea?
That's Pyongyang, North Korea. You gonna go there?
Yes.
We're gonna go through North Korea. Okay. Embark 2
Why not?
suitcases. Negative 56 health, but that's such a long trip. That's why. Okay.
Right, because each time it would take probably like 16 or something.
We gotta make some extra space. 130 pounds is fine, I think, right? We got plenty of money right now. We get plus 40 for having the fur coat. That's Russian gentleman's wardrobe set. So we're gonna lose very little
Fur
health.
coat is awesome.
That coat is really a good buy. I'm glad we bought that. We're on the Trans-Siberian Express. The bell in the stuccoed and whitewashed Moscow station gave its third and final clang, and the platform erupted into frenzy.
Convicts in the prison cars.
Oh, good. That'll surely help us. Convicts in the prison cars rattled their irons and sang the Milosurdanya, the exile's song of despair, while businessmen and prosecutors in smart fur-trimmed coats slipped money to the provotniks to secure their compartments.
I did not push through that crowd.
I did not push through that crowd, and we found ourselves in a small cabin, hardly regularly cleaned, and with a shattered shaving mirror and without heated water. Monsieur Fogg did not look displeased. Such material business could hardly rattle him. Greetings, Madame Pavlinchenko. May I see your ticket? How I despise this job. We can ask her about Karamsaya to somewhere other place. How about Pyongyang?
Yeah, since we're going there.
Okay, I was told of someone who was stranded in Karamskaya just before the Trans-Manchurian Express to Pyongyang went missing. Can I just say you can pick up handheld mirrors in Pyongyang? Extremely valuable in San Pedro. How would she know that? To Pyongyang to Beijing to Canton to Penghu Pass to Manila. I'm going to guess Manila, Yokohama, or Beijing are probably the best choices here.
Let's do Beijing.
Beijing. Have you heard that some buyers will pay well for false passports from Beijing?
See, we have a false passport.
Okay, that's true. Pyongyang to Yokohama, or Lahore, or Manila? Manila. Thrilla in Manila. Absolutely, you can get to Manila from Pyongyang aboard the steam yacht Quiet Thunder, but the fare is expensive. Goodbye. New route discovered. There's Manila, connecting us to Pyongyang. Interesting. We're doing pretty well. We're only on day 13, and we're already going across Siberia from London. That's really good, right?
Yeah.
We were away. What were we going to say?
I remember the advice from the man train to Warsaw.
I remembered the advice from the man on the train to Warsaw, that the Trans-Siberian was capable of higher speeds than it was admitted, and determined to find my way to the engine car to talk to the driver. Paid him £30?
Yes.
Okay. I thought so, because that sounded awesome. I was like, I want to suggest this one. I paid him £30, which he accepted, though when I began to discuss the train's speed, he slipped away, thanking me for the tip. My bed that night swayed along. Oh, maybe we should have went for the wager instead of bribing him £30. With the motion of the train. From Moscow to Karamskaya was a journey of over 5,000 miles, and we had only just begun. We've only just begun. We should have went with the wager. We can pay attention to Monsieur Fogg to get his health up, or we can continue conversing. Our fellow passengers were a mix of convicts, political radicals, prospectors, businessmen, and military officers. In the midst of this was a young lady, Rosa.
Wearing a bored expression.
Wearing a bored expression as she was harangued by her formidable mammon.
I followed her.
I followed her discreetly and was surprised to discover her secret. She had fallen in love with a peasant boy in 4th class called Jick, though their relations at the moment were somewhat limited to sharing glances of extreme passion in the baggage car.
Ah, to be so young again.
To be so young again. I resolved to keep an eye on their burgeoning locomotive romance. We crossed the Volga in an early afternoon, crawling slowly over a bridge perched on high stone pillars.
The devout Russians stood.
The devout Russians stood and crossed themselves while looking out over the water. I could just hear the lilting, rhythmic, oar-beating songs of the Volga men over the whistle of steamboats. Still taking health damage, but he's still in the 90s. Or that's all we can do is kind of pay attention to them because we can't converse right now. Ekaterinburg. We crossed the Urals today. At the risk of sounding like a jaded traveler, I must admit that they are hardly magnificent. A heaving up of earth and forested hills for a few hundred miles. We stopped for an hour at Ekaterinburg, where...
Oh, I almost want to say persuaded him to jump off. But I'm going to say join the lively officers.
Join the lively cavalry officers as they ate smoked fish and played music to accompany their repast. One of them enjoined me to play his balaleka, a kind of triangular mandolin.
I accepted.
I accepted eagerly and strummed a few notes to familiarize myself with the unaccustomed instruments. Once happy with its function, I played
familiar favorite.
A familiar favorite, Yippee Yaddy, a song about a musical fellow called Herman von Bello, who was possessed of a rather sizable cello. I heard choruses of yips and ayes rather alarmed some of the fellow diners, and I was treated to some colorful local lyrical variations which cast a new light on Herr von Bello's prodigious talents. The officers were so pleased by my performance that they very generously made me a gift of that very same balalaika. I cannot wait to play it for Monsieur Fogg. I guess we'll pay attention to Monsieur Fogg again.
It's saying it should fetch a good price.
Awesome. I could not wish for a superior valet. Time on board trains takes on a meditative quality.
I danced.
I danced like a Kazakh. From Kazakhstan, of course. I danced like a Kazakh in the dining car, having consumed an indiscreet quantity of vodka. Kazakh soldiers cheered me on mercilessly, and I placed a fox fur cap on my head when I finally collapsed to the floor in exhaustion.
I thanked them.
I thanked them weakly, unable to muster any great reserves of courtesy. They laughed good-naturedly at my incapacity. You are an able dancer, passe-partout, they pronounced, and helped me back to my carriage with much ribald mockery. So to Omsk we go. Converse. Maybe we can converse before it arrives. D'Augustin, let us share a glass of wine together, monsieur. Okay, to Pyongyang. You mentioned trains. I've been blah, 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 blah. Trying to get finished before we get there. Yokohama?
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible to go to Pyongyang to Yokohama? I believe so. You can get to Yokohama from Pyongyang by Korean trader, but the fare is well beyond most travelers. Yokohama to Honolulu?
Mm-hmm.
Can you travel from Yokohama to Honolulu? No idea, but you can pick up revolvers in Honolulu. Extremely valuable in New Orleans. Of course. In America. Because that's what we are here, right? Man. That's something I noticed in a lot of games and also a lot of, like, even foreign culture and stuff. Is like, Americans are obsessed with guns. Is apparently everything that always comes up. Omsk today we decanted a full score of British, Dutch, and German merchants, or ourselves onto the platform.
Ourselves onto the platform.
We decanted ourselves onto the platform and hurried away from the train. Oh, we were supposed to stay on the train. I forgot. But the platform's the exit. We were supposed to stay on.
Oh, that's what I was thinking. The platform, I was thinking we were getting on the train.
Yep. It's all right. We can make this. Russian gentleman. Ooh, Russian gentleman's hat. We're going to grab that for sure. What about the hammer?
Western Star?
Western Star. Pyongyang. We're heading to Pyongyang. Let's grab that. And then I'm guessing we're going to have to get rid of one of our suitcases, but let's see how far we can get with that. We're going to explore. Got new routes going in wrong directions. Like terribly wrong directions.
Mm-hmm.
Omsk was the most important stop on the line between Moscow and Siberian capital of Irkutsk. A fact we were made of aware by a signboard in 5 languages that told us as much just outside the station building.
The town.
The town was presumably of religious importance since the place was stuffed full of Orthodox churches, the way a 6th-class car is stuffed with pickpockets. Walking the city, we chanced upon a large square containing what is surmised to be the governor's mansion. We went to introduce ourselves, or a self-important man, no doubt.
Let's go introduce ourselves.
We went to introduce ourselves, only to be told the governor was out for the day and would be returning in the evening, if we would care to call again. We're almost to the evening. Let's plan the next trip. The next train departs tomorrow. Excellent. We're not going to lose much time. Now let's head back. I guess we'll stay in the hotel, huh?
Mm-hmm.
There we go. There was only one hotel on a large square across from the governor's residence.
We found our room and warmed up.
We found our room and warmed up in front of a roaring log fire built disconcertingly from the same cut logs as the walls, floor, and furniture of the room and the building itself. So depart, and let's head on to Vladivostok.
I thought we were going to Pyongyang.
Oh yeah, that's right. Karimskaya. Embark. Ticket price is more than we can afford to pay. Oh, how did we lose?
Wow.
We very quickly lost a lot of money because reasons. Let's empty some of our things here. How many did it say we could keep on the train? We can have two of our luggages, so we got to get rid of a lot of our luggage. I guess we're not going by Kabul, so I'm going to get rid of the geometry equipment. I don't think we're going by here, so let's get rid of that, yeah? Mm-hmm. Try to save these if we can. Top hat, I don't see any reason to keep the top hat right now. False passport.
Yeah, that'll sell in Korea.
Korea, yes, okay. Railway cap, let's try to keep that. We're probably not going to be able to. Engineer set, we got fur coat. We want to keep that for the cold. San Francisco, monkey wrench. Engineer set, portable pressure gauge, good for diagnosing problems with steam systems. We haven't seen any use for this yet. You want to get rid of it?
Yeah, you're right. We haven't.
Okay, foxskin cap. We're going to keep this for San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
Western Star. Oh, we got to keep the Western Star. We got to get rid of this thing. It's so huge. And it's only worth $630.
Okay.
So, I mean, we got other stuff we want to keep. We're going to get rid of this because actually we're going towards Karimskaya, and we're going to stop there, so let's keep that, yeah? Mm-hmm. Russian gentleman set. We're going to have to get rid of that. Brisbane. Are we going by Brisbane? Where is Brisbane exactly? I have no idea. You want to get rid of the railwayman set? Let's get rid of that. What do you say?
Okay.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to get our bags down. So let's embark now.
Wow, we're basically going to spend all of our money.
Yep, we are.
Okay. We're gonna have
we shouldn't have got off and on. That's what made us poor.
know.
When we disembarked, we had already paid for a ticket all the way to Karimskaya.
I know. I totally made the wrong choice there.
It's okay. I think I didn't understand what it was saying, and
because we were stopped, so I assumed we were off the train. So when it said jump on the platform, I was thinking we were getting back on the train. But it was the other way around. We were on the train, and jumping on the platform was leaving the train.
I'm gonna get so many comments for this.
It's my fault.
You paid £3,000 and you got off on the first stop. What's your problem, man? You should not do YouTube. I'm gonna get that.
Blame it on the wife.
No, never blame you. I love you. You're the best. Kodak moment. We reboarded the Trans-Siberian Express at Omsk station and settled into our seats. I guess we're gonna wait. Balloonist kidnappers exposed at World's Fair. Balloonist kidnappers. That was the balloonist.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now, do you remember the first episode when I said I wanted to avoid
going to Siberia?
And we went straight to Siberia.
Yeah, that's right. The lines are thick here, and other trains pass ours frequently. Some are filled with settlers and others with soldiers, packed into 5th and 6th class cars so closely that I wonder if they can even breathe.
I stopped watching
after seeing a fight break out. They fought listlessly, as if their fights were more a result of too much closeness and boredom than any true antagonism. It chilled me. Here we go. Converse. What is your wish, master? Passepartout, there you are. Money or Karimskaya? Money?
Well, we need money.
How are our funds? I fear we're desperately low. You will have to earn some. Karimskaya. What have you learned about Karimskaya? There's an outpost of the Artificers Guild there. Urshik. Did you discover anything in the paper about Urshik? It was once Chinese, I think. Very helpful, thank you.
We gotta earn some money.
We do have to earn some money. We lost a lot by mistake. We crossed the halfway mark on our journey today. In the morning, we wound up in Angara Valley toward the mining camp of Irkutsk, the great city of Siberia where some passengers were leaving to join routes south into Mongolia. We waited while the luggage was unloaded, why anyone would travel in that direction, or I persuaded Monsieur Fogg to disembark.
Yeah, we shouldn't get off, right?
Yeah.
We should stay on, so why would anyone travel?
Why would anyone travel in that direction? I could not fathom. The Russian wilderness was desolate, but at least the train was fast. Mongolia was a desert made twice as wide as by the slow animal pace of the horse's tread. Our journey continued. We have 5 pounds. Our journey continued, and by afternoon we had reached the magnificent expanse of Lake Baikal, as clear as the finest crystal, bounded by flower-banked cliffs on the western shore and containing a thriving raucous population of freshwater seals. The track ended at the lake's edge, but the great trains showed no signs of slowing nor stopping. I began to feel, as my master would say, a little perturbed. Now, my friends, this next sentence will seem to you an invention of a madman, but I assure you it is utter unvarnished truth. We drove straight from the shore into the clear water of the lake, causing barely a ripple. I looked out of the compartment window and saw the wheels pulled up, and zut alors! Zut alors! The train was hovering in the air through some unseen mechanism.
I stayed in our carriage.
I stayed in our carriage in the hold for the duration of the crossing and had the singularly odd misfortune of experiencing seasickness in a locomotive. Relations with Fogg have strengthened slightly. From the window, I watched families working at their fields dressed in colors bright as harlequins. Red and blue bodices and bright bandanas, which they pulled off to wave at the train.
People are wonderful.
People are wonderful. They live somewhere bleak and then make themselves colorful instead. Too late. This game's so quick. Pay attention, Mr. Fogg. You're most entertaining, Passepartout. We're almost to Karamskaya. There's a little report of the outside world, so a word today on Russian eating habits. More specifically, the Russian distaste for regular meal times. I met a fellow Frenchman today who said to me, the Russian meal is a guide to the Russian character.
I begged him to explain further. And he obliged me. The guiding principle of the national cuisine is that all dishes must be capable of being served at any time the eater feels disposed. He sacrifices his finer susceptibilities to his love of freedom. I resolved to keep this thought in mind on future approaches to the dining car. If our locomotive suppers are not triumphs of culinary art, they are at least signal examples of logistical achievement. Choo-choo. Chugga, 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 chugga. Converse. Greetings, Monsieur de Gustin. Let us share a glass of wine together, Monsieur. We're going to talk about Pyongyang, because we're trying to get through there. Yokohama, Manila. You want to go talk about Manila or Yokohama? Yokohama. Some people say you can buy amethysts, okay. And then from Yokohama to Honolulu? Honolulu.
Is there a route from Yokohama to Honolulu? You'd have to ask the secretary, but you can pick up buffalo hides in Honolulu, extremely valuable in Omaha. Thanks so much for that. To Manila? Mm-hmm. Or Moresby?
I don't know where Moresby is.
Is it possible to travel from Yokohama to Port Moresby? I must go, it's late. Thanks a lot for that. New Orleans to Atlanta to Washington to New York. New routes discovered. Okay, Karamskaya. We pulled into Karamskaya in the evening. From Karamskaya, it was possible to branch into the Chinese Eastern Railway to Beijing, so we disembarked onto the platform. I will say that if we run out of money and we're not able to continue the game, what I'm going to do is I'm going to replay to this point without making that crazy mistake disembarking a train after paying 3,000 pounds. Mm-hmm. I'll get all the way to wherever we stopped with more funds, and that way we can continue the story, because that way people can continue enjoying it with us. So
we have to get off here. We're not going all the way to Pyongyang?
We have to get off here and catch another train to Pyongyang, okay. Which means we're going to have to find some way to get money to go to Pyongyang. Okay, so...
we heard to find ourselves lodgings, but we have no money.
We hurried to find ourselves lodgings, knowing that once the evening fell, it would become bitterly, miserably cold.
We're going to freeze to death in some alley.
We're going to be very cold, that's for sure. We can beg, we can explore, we can go to the market. Let's go to explore first. I walk the streets a while discovering the possibilities for how we might make progress. Now let's go to the market before it closes. They have knitted gloves and iron ore. Hammer can be sold here for $190.
That helps.
That does help a little bit. False passport.
Saving all the other stuff for other things.
Yeah, if we can get to Pyongyang and sell the Western Star, we're going to be in great shape. Valuable Manila and Honolulu and Acapulco. That's only 13.
Yeah, because we are going to Honolulu.
And knitted gloves. I really want that. While we sell this, Kazakh soldier's foxskin cap, get the knitted gloves. Because we're going to be cold soon. Okay. We're going to be very cold in a minute here. Alright, and now we can stay in a hotel for the night. We can plan to go to Pyongyang. That's going to cost $170. So if we stay in the hotel tonight, we're not going to be able to afford a hotel, afford the train. So we can either stay in a hotel or take the train. What do you want to do?
Go ahead and take the train.
Well, we can't take the train till tomorrow. So we're going to have to sleep outside, or we're going to have to sleep in the hotel tonight.
Okay. Plan? Okay.
It's $170 to go there.
Yeah.
And it departs in 2 days. Oh, we got to stay. Yeah, it's going to be 2 days. You want to stay in a hotel and see what we can do?
Yeah, we have to. We might take to begging, honey.
Yeah, we're going to be begging. Oh, that only costs £5 to stay in the hotel.
What?
Wow.
We're gonna make it.
There was no moon in Karamskaya, and not even a barking dog marred the silence of the luminous Siberian night. The only lit building bore the copper lily of the Artificers Guild.
Ooh, I knocked at the back door.
I knocked at the back door, eager to find company to help pass the long, cold night. A dwarf with long black hair, rouged lips, and thick brass goggles opened the door. I stared at her or bowed.
I bowed. You never stare.
You don't stare. That's not good. I bowed and introduced myself as a foreigner from Karamskaya. A foreigner to Karamskaya. Looking for conversation. Welcome. Come in out of the cold, then. I am Nezhechka Yefimova. We walked through a squalid corridor into a round room lit with bright electrical lamps. The artificer sprawled on low sofas and greeted me with beery enthusiasm. What is beery enthusiasm? I have to go to Google for that one. A human form automaton ushered me to a seat and handed me a drink with mechanical precision.
I think she was a little tipsy.
Maybe.
I accepted it.
I accepted my drink with a grin, and the small gears in the automaton's face whirred to produce an answering smile. The hours passed quickly in good company, and we shared many outlandish tales. I complimented their hospitality, and Nadezhda clapped me on the arm. It has been a pleasure sharing our fire with you, Passepartout. She reached in a pocket and took out a copper medallion with an artificer's lily stamped upon it. Take this, present it to any member of the Artificers Guild, and they will be bound to offer you help. I thanked them for their generosity and wended my way back through the dark streets of Kamarskaya, a city lit only by the brightness of the stars and the pale ethereal glow of the northern lights.
Aw, sounds pretty.
Okay, let's, medallion would fetch good, yeah, we're already planning on selling that thing they gave us. We're going to stay another night at the hotel because that was really cheap. That cost 10, so we have just enough to get on the train. With the last night of the evening, I washed and hung our linen. I ran a few errands, or running errands will give you money.
Okay, I didn't know that. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so I ran a few errands for the hotelier, earning 95 pounds in fees and tips. My funds have gone up by a fair amount.
Totally worth it.
Yep, totally worth it. We are going to take a break here, the second episode, and then hopefully we're going to be heading to Pyongyang and then further east.
Yes. Once we get to Pyongyang and we can sell stuff, we'll have more money and we won't die.
We're going to sell the Western Star. That's going to be like 7,300 pounds. It's going to be awesome. We're going to be in good shape then. So thanks so much for watching. You've been watching
80 Days.
And I've been Jalindo, and you have been
The Wife.
And what's the button that people need to press in order to see more videos like this?
Subscribe.
Subscribe button below the video or on the little annotation. Be sure to click that if you want to see more.
Watch us fix our disaster.
Yeah, let's fix the disaster. We can do this. And remember,
keep it clean.